part one, and in this part, you're going to learn how to do this, which is pleats, prep, and iron the sari so that it's ready for you to drape on the morning or evening of your event. Check out part two, and I'll link it down below so that you know how to drape it as well. Let's get started. All right, so I'm going to start off with the sari face up, and I've already steamed it. And I'm going to take the first pleat from the side. You want to decide how thick you want the pallu, and this is going to be the first pleat that you're going to see on the stack of pleats on your chest. So you can decide however thick or thin you want it, and I'm going to do that. And this is the only fold that you kind of have to guess, and then I'm just going to iron that down. Okay. All right. And then what I'm going to do is bring the other side of the sari to meet the edge that I just made with that first pleat and iron that down. And you want to line up the edges so they're nice and neat. And then I'm going to open it up again, and I'm going to work on the side of the sari closest to me on this side. So first what I'm going to do is bring the edge of the sari to the middle line that I created. And the pleat is still intact, so the initial pleat is still intact. So you're actually bringing it to the middle there, like so. All right, so I created another line here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring the edge now to that line, like so. All right, once you're happy with it being lined up, you can also iron that down. And then I'm going to fold forward on the line again, and then I'm going to fold over one more time. And then you want it to meet the middle line, and then iron that down as well. All right, so we've created half of the folds that we need. And when I open this, you're going to see perfectly equidistant lines on one half of the sari. Now I'm going to repeat this entire process on the other side. So you're going to start from the other edge, the opposite edge of where you put your pallu pleat. This is going to be the bottom pleat. So all I'm going to do is pick up the sari and fold forward on the line that I created before. And then I'm just going to fold backwards to meet that edge. And then I'm just going to lay this all down nice and flat. And then once you're happy with that edge being lined up with the folded edge, you're just going to iron it down. And congratulations, you just made your first pleat. And I'm just going to repeat that. So now there's this fold that I made before. I'm going to pick up all of the sari, and I'm going to fold forward on that fold and then fold back. And this is our second pleat. And then once you're happy, again, iron it all down. All right, so again, there's the fold. I'm going to pick up all of the sari with the pleats and create the next one. Fold forward and then bring all of the stack of pleats backwards to meet the edge. Line it up again and iron down. Okay, and then you just repeat that for the rest of the sari. All right, so this is the first fold that we did, and this is actually the first pleat. And so what I'm gonna do is it's the same idea. You wanna just fold forward, and then you wanna fold back. And then iron that down, and that is the final part to creating your entire pallu. All right, so when I'm done pleating, I'm gonna put this on my shoulder, determine where I want the sari to hit my shoulder, and then I've put a safety pin here. It's going to help with two parts of the drape. So one, when I go to do my chest pleats, it's gonna allow the sari to stay together as I fan out the sari. And then also when you're draping, you wanna ensure that you've already determined your pallu length. It just makes for an easier and quicker draping experience. So let's do the chest pleats now. When you place the pallu on your ironing board, you want to line up the safety pin with the top of the ironing board like so, and then fan out the pleats. You want to take extra time and care here to do this because these pleats are going to be at the front of your body, like right in front on your chest, and so you want to ensure that you're taking the time and care to do this as neatly and as nicely as possible. So I'm just fanning the pleats out, and once I'm happy with the pleats, I'll iron them down. This is the most satisfying part. Nicely iron that down. Okay. And then what you want to do is pick it up and continue that line, because this is the part of the sari that will wrap around your body. If you don't like that puffy look of Kanchipuram saris, then you want to do this. You can do it even lower if you'd like and keep going. I don't really like to do that because I don't want it to be too flat against my body, but I like a little bit of structure. So I'm going to take it down a little bit. The more time you spend, the more perfect it's going to be. So take that extra time. And towards the end, you don't want to press down too hard because you want it to be crisp lines and then two kind of falling out and being softer lines. And now we're ready to drape. Once you're done pleating and prepping and getting those perfect chest pleats, you want to preserve them. I usually do all of these steps the night before or the day before an event, especially for those early morning weddings. You don't want to be doing this at 3, 4 a.m., but you want to also make sure that you're storing it in a way that you're putting minimal folds in your sari. Now you can use a hanger or a dress form, and I would actually recommend a dress form, but I'm going to show you how to store the sari in both ways. And obviously the hanger is going to put a few more folds in your sari, and you might have to touch up on the morning of or the evening of, but it's still better than just leaving it as is. To fold it, to put on your hanger, you're going to put the pallu on your shoulder, and then you're going to get the other end of the sari and fold it to a point that is past your knee. I would say almost to the ground. So you want to leave that much space. This is so that the folds, you're putting in minimal folds, but also the width of the folds that you end up with are narrow enough to fit through a hanger. Okay, once you have the fold like this, you want to take the part that's on your shoulder and then hold it against the rest of the sari. And you want to just really focus on the chest pleats not getting folds in them. And you want to just adjust that like so. And then I'm going to take my hanger and weave it through. It's a little tricky to do it in midair. I recommend doing this on your bed or on a surface. So as you can see, most of the chest pleats are here, and now there's no folds in them. And I mean, this part will have a fold, but it's far enough lower on your body that it's not going to be as big of a deal. If I was traveling, I would also do this, and I would even put some safety pins so that you pin together the different layers of the sari, and then this will fit in a carry-on. You can fold it again, and once you get to your destination, literally the first thing you should do is take it out and put it in the closet at the hotel. Now let's put it on the dress form. Okay. So to put it on the dress form, what you're gonna do is, again, start with the pallu. So you're gonna put the shoulder pleat pin, and you're gonna line it up with the shoulder of the dress form. And then again, fan out the chest pleats so they're nice and neat, and you're not gonna lose any of the pleats. And then come to the other end of the sari, and pretty much the same way you did it for the hanger, you're going to make folds. The good thing about the dress form is that your folds can be as wide as you need them to be, and I would actually recommend not doing too many folds because you're just gonna pin it to the back of the dress form. And once I have that, I'm going to turn it around, line up the pleats nicely, and then you're going to pin it to the back of the mannequin or the dress form. And there you go. The most important part of the sari that you spent time and effort prepping is going to stay intact. There's going to be no folds, and when it comes time to drape your sari, it's going to be ready to go. And that's it. I hope that was helpful. I really like taking the time to prep and pleat my sari far in advance of the event so that I'm not scrambling on the morning of, and I can just focus on draping the sari. If you haven't already, check out part 2, and I'll see you in a future video.